this is Ryan at Primal Elite Fitness, and today we're going to be going over our recovery cool down. So to start off, make sure that you have a band and an elevated surface, and if you have sensitive knees, grab something soft like a knee pad so you can utilize it during the cool down. For our first one, we're going to lay on our back, and we're going to grab a band, loop around the middle of the foot, and we're going to pull it in as far as you can until you feel a nice good stretch either on the hamstring or the calf. With the free leg, we're going to drop it down as far as you can comfortably and repeat this here until our halfway marker. Especially as we're lowering our leg, make sure our low back doesn't pry up so it's nice and snug into the floor. And at that halfway marker, we'll quickly switch it up and continue until time is up. For our second exercise, we're going to be doing floor angels. We're going to go into a dead bug position. So let's just get you in a nice neutral stance with your spine. Knees in, low backs into the floor, and the beginning of the floor angel, our elbows are close to our torso, and our goal is to get our elbow and wrist on the floor. Now if you're tight, you might be looking something like this, or even wrists might be up like that. Just try your best to get as close to the ground as possible, and from here, we're going to reach up, staying pinned into the ground. Again, don't let the low back pry up, keep that rib cage down until we get all the way overhead. Once you get here, we're going to bring it down, and once you're comfortable, we're going to now start incorporating breathing with the pattern. So we're going to exhale as we reach up, and as we come down, we're going to inhale. Big diaphragm breath in, pull it in through the nose. Remember, we're always expanding in the low abdomen. We don't want to be chest breathers with our diaphragm breathing, and we'll break that down in further detail another time. Our next one is our prone overhead diamond. So you're going to lay on your stomach. We're going to create a diamond with our hands and our elbows. And this is also going to have breathing involved with it as well. So our goal is to lightly spread out our arms like we're spreading the floor apart. Pack your shoulders down. We don't want any hiking with the shoulder joint. And as we breathe out, we're going to sink our mid-back down towards the floor and bring our sternum up. So we're working on mid-back extension. And then as we come down, big breath in. And again, as we come up, I'm breathing out, sinking my big mid-back down towards the floor and spreading elbows out while at the same time driving shoulders down. It's complicated at first, but after a couple of reps, you'll get nice and comfortable with it. For our next one, we're going to go with our adductor rocker. So for this one, if you need a knee pad, now would be the time to grab it. One knee is down on the pad, other leg is straight out towards the side, hands on the floor, and we're going to rock our hips all the way back into our heel without rounding our low back. And we want to be feeling the stretch in the inside thigh of the straight leg. If you're not feeling much, you just need to increase the distance between the knee and the foot until you do feel it. And remember, at our halfway marker, we'll always switch it over to the other side. For our fifth one, we're going to be doing what's called a pigeon rocker. So this is a nice one for the glutes to get a nice good stretch for external rotation. So on all fours. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to pick a leg off, externally rotate whatever leg is down on the mat. And from here, we're going to rock straight back nice and slowly until you feel a good pull on that glute, and then bring it back. So this one should be done slow, do not go fast. We're trying to increase range of motion with every rock back, but once you hit that barrier, just stop and bring it back, and then at the halfway again, we're gonna switch it up. Nice slow rock, we're breathing out as we go down and inhaling as we come back up. For our next one, we're gonna be doing a runner's pose. So again, this will also be in a half kneeling position. One knee is down, other leg in front. For this one, we want to either be by the wall or an elevated surface. With your back foot, keep it flat. Don't worry about digging those toes, and for this one in particular. From here, we're going to push into that surface and try to drive what's called hip extension, this motion. Now, this is a tricky one because if we are not focused, we can start extending through our low back and think we're going through the hip, and that's how we hurt not only the hip capsule, but the joints in the low back as well. So drive into that box. Right glute should be tight and engaged. Feel a nice pull in the front of the hip flexor. Hold it for a few seconds, pop off, and we're gonna, again, try to increase range of motion. Now, I'm not engaging my glute and I'm not rocking my pelvis back, and I'm just nice and relaxed through here, I can crank, but I'm truly not getting the effect because I'm just stretching my capsule and not the actual hip flexor muscles there. Again, at the halfway, switch it up. Good engagement in the left glute, not overarching through low back, and keep working on range of motion. For our last one, we're gonna be doing an elevated child's pose. Elbow tips on the box. We're gonna rock the body back and try to gain some good overhead flexion range of motion and some mid-back extension, usually an area that the majority of people are tight in. So again, elbows on the box, rock the hips back. Once your head clears the box, my goal is to try to sink down into that position. You're either gonna feel a nice stretch in the under pit area or the mid-back. And that will be our cool down.